Hey everybody out there, this is Mike Ledbetter, bringing you another installment of MLB's Blues News. I haven't done this in a little while, so I thought I'd go ahead and catch everybody up with what's been going on in the road life, what's been going on in my life. Uh, it's been a really good run so far. I'm sitting here on an early morning in Harlingen, Texas. We uh, just did a 6-hour drive from Conroe, so I'm just sitting here in my hotel room listening to some Elmore James. He's been keeping me a lot of company on this tour. There's always one or two dudes that I listen to more than others on each run, and Elmore James has been that guy. So, my man. Uh, it's been a good run so far. We started off in St. Louis. Uh, had just a couple of private parties that we played, just some background music, and that's always a fun one to do. As Nick Moss would say, it's a palate cleanser. Uh, so we had a little bit of downtime while we were in St. Louis as well. So me and Nick Fain, the bass player in the Nick Moss band, I took him down to downtown St. Louis to go see Marquise Knox. And any of you who aren't hip to Marquise Knox, I know all the blues heads and all the blues fans that are watching this, I know you guys know who he is. But any of the other people who aren't, I think he's about 22 or 23, and just plays top notch, some of the best in traditional blues and traditional soul music. If you're not hip to him, look him up because he's a fantastic artist. And shout out to you, Marquise. You put on a great show that night. But one thing I'd like to say about that night that I really found fun was, like I said, I took Nick Fain down there, and I really enjoyed watching him observe that show because him and Marquise are the same age, and Nick Fain is a fantastic blues or bass player, and he's really well versed in all sorts of different styles. Funky stuff, soul, rock. He can do it all. But he didn't come up playing a lot of blues. So any of you who know anything about Nick Moss know that on the side of being one of the best guitar players around, he's one of the best bass players around too. That's where he got his start. So that's a good thing to have when you're teaching a guy who didn't have a lot of blues background. When you have Nick Moss, so he's teaching them all the West Coast, all the lowdown Chicago, all the Texas, all of that stuff, and Fain's catching on really quickly. He's got the feel. So, but it was really fun to watch Marquise, a guy his age, do the stuff like he's been doing it. I know Marquise has been playing his whole life, but to see him watch Marquise, I could tell how motivating it was for him, and I know that feeling. I know the feeling to watch another guy and go like, oh man, I gotta go home and practice, and that's a cool feeling. So it was nice to observe that. We had some other gigs in Oklahoma City College Bar. It's always a fun little crowd in there. I always come out with a burning chest because they still let them smoke inside. So that's the only thing I'm not a fan of. That's just me, man. San Angelo, Texas. We got to play at Sealy Flats again. That's always a favorite of mine. Everybody talks about the really cool band house that we always get to stay in, and it really is really cool. We had a lot of fun playing there. The weather, however, had some other plans for us. About an hour into our set, it just started downpouring rain and hail, and we had to cut off the show. So Sealy Flats have us back real soon because I myself, and I know the other guys feel the same, would like to finish what we started because we always love playing there. The next day, we moved on to Austin, Texas, and any of you who keep up with me on the internet know that Austin, Texas is my favorite place away from home. Hold on one second, I'm gonna get a drink of water. I needed to prepare myself for my little talk about Austin. Earlier in the evening, we did this gig with that West Star puts on. West Star is one of the best drummers, one of the best blues drummers on this earth, and he puts on this cool little set down by Mama Mal's Italian Cuisine, Malavita. Mal cooked the boys some great Italian food, and we got to play with Wes and some cool friends. Matt Farrell on the piano, who I hadn't met yet. He's a monster on the piano, and my boy Nate Boff came out. Really cool guitar player and vocalist down in Austin. That's my guy. He came out and visited us and played some stuff with us. So that was a really fun set earlier. And then later, we got to play the Continental Club in Austin, Texas, on a co-bill with the Peacemakers. And the Peacemakers they're one of my favorite bands ever. I mean, talk about just like a super band full of heavy hitters. Greg Izor on the vocals and harp. Mike Keller, who also plays with the Fabulous Thunderbirds, on guitar. Corey Keller on drums. Willie Pipkin on second guitar. He plays with probably about 57, possibly 59 bands down there, down in Austin. Johnny Bradley on the bass. You probably know his name because he's played with the Who's Who, with everybody, and you know, talk about Who's Who. Right now, I think for like the past two years, he's been playing with Gary Clark Jr. So, like I said, heavy hitters. It's always a beautiful thing to watch those guys play. All I can tell people is it's really like a religious experience for me, because that's the only way that I can describe it. Watching those guys play the type of blues that they play and play it the way that they play it, I could do it all day, every day. I could just sit there and watch those dudes do it. Had some really good friends come out that night. Hook Herrera, who I had never met before, but he and Nick have been friends since, you know, their early days. Josh Valero came out and played some guitar and sang, and you know, we all had this big jam at the end of the night. So Josh got up and did his thing, did some guitar slim for me by request. So it was a really fun night. Probably one of the best nights of my life, actually. I have no problem with saying that. The next night, the night after that, we were in Conroe. That was yesterday. We got to play Do-Si Do's, Do-Si Do's Music Cafe in Conroe, and it was a co-bill with Tommy Castro, and that was a party, y'all. That was a party. Full room, and everybody was loving both of the bands. Tommy got Nick up at the end of his set, and they were wailing away back and forth at each other. Just a guitar player's dream, you know, to watch. You know, it was really fun to watch them do that stuff. So, yeah, it's been a really good one so far, and I don't see any kind of ending in sight. So, for all of this fun, so I just wanna. I saw. I know Nick Fain does vlogs sometimes too, and I noticed that he sends shout outs to his family during it. And I thought, you know what? I'm doing all of this goofy stuff on here. It'd probably be a nice thing to say hi to everybody. So, hi mom, how you doing? Hey dad, what's going on, pop? Hey Kathleen, how you doing, honey? I'll even say, you know what? What's up, Ginge? I'm gonna say hi to my sister too. What's up, baby girl? Yeah, life is good, ladies and gentlemen. Life is really, really good. I would tell you guys like the rest of the gigs that we're having on this run, but right now my brain is fried. Like I said, it's a really early morning. Excuse me. And my brain is gone. So go on nickmoss.com, go on Facebook and like the Nick Moss Band's page and follow us. And I'm gonna go ahead and top this off. I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to everybody, but I'm gonna share some news with you. Those of you who haven't seen it on Facebook or anything like that, I just want to say that I'm gonna be a daddy. I'm very proud to announce this. I'm very excited. Actually, the day that we left for this run, we went to the ultrasound and I found out that I'm having a little girl. I'm not having a little girl, but you know what I mean. It's a really cool feeling, and I'm looking forward to meeting her when she comes along. So I just wanted to send a shout out and say that life is good, ladies and gentlemen. So until next time, thanks for listening to me, and I hope everybody's well out in the world. Follow the Nick Moss Band because we might be near you. We got a big trip coming up on the West Coast, so like I said, get on there and follow us, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mike Ledbetter, MLB, signing off. Peace.